Okay, so I found this video on TikTok that defines what a woman is. Let's check it out.
You people can't define what a woman is. What is a woman? A woman is someone who lives the life of a woman, who identifies as a woman, and is assigned feminine roles and expectations by their society based on their perceived femaleness and perceived feminine. That's an overcomplicated and pretentious answer.
It's not overcomplicated or pretentious, it's just bad. A woman is someone who lives the life of a woman is a circular definition. Everything added after that is just gibberish meant to obfuscate the first thing he said.
It's really not that complicated. Well, okay, can you give me a definition of the word woman that includes all women while excluding no women? What do you mean? Well, definitions can get really complicated, especially when we want to categorize something. Like, try defining chair. A chair is something we sit on with 4 legs and a back.
Okay, that's a really bad definition for a chair. A chair is a man-made object on which a single person is supposed to sit upon that has 4 legs and a backrest. And now he's just gonna use that poor definition to talk about something else that is already well defined, can be defined further in more retarded ways. Let's see it.
Okay, but that definition would include things like a sofa and a horse, and exclude things like, you know, those office chairs that roll around.
A sofa and a horse. A horse is a chair. Come on. You can't talk to me about that stupid shit like the Twitter thread or some shit where it's like, a horse is a chair. Stop being so stupid. Stop being so dumb.
On the wheel. How would you define chair? I think it would be more accurate to say that a chair is something that typically is designed for one person to sit on and has 4 legs and a back.
I mean, you just defined chair. It's meant for one person to sit upon, has 4 legs and the back. You only missed the part where it's supposed to be an inanimate object, but decent description.
What does this have to do with the word woman?
What does it have to do with the
definition?
word woman?
An adult, human, female. Okay, so like the chair example, that definition isn't completely accurate because adult is just an arbitrary category that we give people who are over the age of 18.
Hold up. How is age arbitrary? Age isn't arbitrary. By definition, arbitrary is something random or based on a personal whim. Age is a widely agreed upon system. They use that shit from China to the US, bro. Each country has its own laws and rules based on it. But to go further, everyone on the planet agrees and age is not just a concept, but an integral characteristic of a person living in our current society, okay? And we all count it the same way, pretty much.
And then female just typically refers to the sex that can produce eggs, they can get pregnant.
Oh, yeah.
Typically they have an XX chromosome, things like this.
Yeah, a woman is just, it's like defined by irrelevant things like being able to create new life.
And even then, sex isn't that binary. It's really not that complicated. Men have a penis, women have a vagina.
Wow, the first time I agree with this guy.
It's not completely accurate. About 1 in 100 people are born with a DSD, which is a difference in sex development. And one of these DSDs,
you're not gonna use DSD for this.
XX chromosomes, who you would call women, they actually have an excess amount of male hormones, which means that their genitalia is ambiguous. They can even get male facial hair and male body hair and things like that.
We really need to crack down on this shit. Okay, you cannot use DSD to bring in people that are quote unquote mentally think they are another sex. Okay, worse than that, DSD isn't like that. Most of the time there's a predominant sex to the point where even the hormones aren't changed. DSD just means you're having an atypical development for your sex, nothing more. It's an atypical development. It's an exception, not the rule. And there's still a purely defined gender in most cases. Most quote-unquote ambiguous genitalia just means a larger vagina or a smaller penis.
But still, men can't get pregnant. Only women can get pregnant. It's basic biology. Again, that might typically be true, but what about women who are infertile or women who are going through menopause who can't get pregnant? Are they still women?
Yes. Of course they're still women. If a woman at the ripe age of 25 can't get pregnant, that's called a problem, okay? An exception. We don't use exceptions to base the rules, okay? If a woman can't get pregnant, you can find out why. If a guy can't get pregnant, then you can also find out why, but it's kind of obvious, right?
Yes, because they were originally supposed to get pregnant. They were designed that way. What do you mean designed that way? Remember, we're talking about gender, which is social, and gender doesn't dictate who and who can't get pregnant.
No, you can't do this. You can't do this to me. You cannot just switch to your social definitions out of the blue. What a cheap fucking cop-out. I fundamentally disagree, okay? I fundamentally disagree with your social idea of genders, right? You cannot change your gender. So adding ridiculous definitions such as uterus people or birding people is not only pointless but insulting. Shit, let's just call them dick people and vagina people, okay, while we're at it.
This definition includes cis women as well as trans men and non-binary people.
Oh, you mean includes women, and women? Thanks for that. Really needed that. I appreciate it.
doesn't exclude anyone. Again, men can't get pregnant. Cis men can't, but some trans men can. There was a study in 2014 of around 41 trans men, and they found that 88% of them got pregnant with cells from their own ovaries.
No. Wow. No way. Women got pregnant even after defining themselves as men? No. That's just... No way. No. That's impossible.
But trans men aren't real men. Okay, why not? They were born women. They're biologically female. Haven't we already established that biology is way more complicated than that?
No.
Besides, a trans man's biology is going to be way different than a cis woman's, especially if they go through things like surgery or hormone. No. Woman means adult human female. They can get pregnant. They have XX chromosomes, things like that. But haven't we already been over this?
A trans man isn't much too different from a woman. Even with the drugs and the mutilations of the body, she is still fundamentally a woman.
Let's imagine that there's a surgery that can perfectly replicate a functioning womb within a trans woman's body. They can get pregnant and everything. It's like fully functional. Imagine that. Then would they be a woman?
No. Great argument. How about this one? If I put a sperm bank inside a woman, does she become a guy? What if I put a nice cummy dispenser on it? Is she a guy then? Look, we're not just talking about specific parts of your body, okay? Not just talking about specific parts of your gender. We're talking about everything. Your genes, your development process, body structure, and so much more. As cringy as it sounds, lived experience is also completely different.
No, because they weren't born that way. They're changing their biology. But our biology is changing all the time. Things like our hormones are in constant flux.
What? Hormone fluctuations are normal. You know what's not normal? An average of 1,000 milligrams of testosterone in a woman. That's not normal. We grow in age constantly, okay? That's not the same as surgically or medically removing or destroying your body. Can someone surgically chop off their arms or legs even if they don't like them or feel like they shouldn't have them? Well, sure. Our biology constantly changes after all, so why not just chop off your arms? Go.
And remember that gender is separable from biology. Like, I don't think when Whitney Houston sang "I'm Every Woman," she meant that she could menstruate and could get pregnant. You're not funny. And cis women are real women. Trans women pretend. But we're all performing gender every single day. Aren't all of us technically playing pretend?
No, I'm not playing pretend. This is just who I am. I'm naturally confrontational. I love to protect, love to hang out, love to be alone, extremely comfortable with holding my emotions in. I act like a guy, not because I want to be one, but because I am one.
I mean, we didn't go out into the forest and find gender etched on the stone that was given to us from God.
Maybe it was given to us from God. In a way, it was given to us by God. No single human decided on how gender should act. God and biology did. We have a higher plane where morals and everything else resides. That's from God. And down in the stomach are our desires, okay? That's biology. Morals, like respecting and loving your fellow neighbor and willingness to stand up for what's right, is something that's moral. Desires such as wanting to stuff your face with shit and have sex with as many people of your preference as possible and eating dicks for breakfast, pause, that's desire. A human lies in between their lower and higher will. It's about balancing, and it's about going for the higher ground every fucking time. Next.
We create these constructs like gender. We make them up, and if we make them up, then we should make them up in a way that produces the least amount of harm possible, and that means including trans women in the definition of woman.
And finally, once again, I fundamentally disagree with the notion that most important thing is to cause the least harm possible. But even if I did, I'd still disagree because this only causes more harm, confusion, and suffering unto the people, the trans people. They have more suicidality than slaves in the American South, Jews during the Holocaust, and even Slavs during the Ottoman slave trade. Clearly, it's not helping. You're only helping people become even more depressed by teaching them to love something that is not their true self. Truth is the most important thing, okay? Not safety. I'd rather die with truth than live with safety any day of the week. You could say I'm a guy's guy on this one. Oh, you Iris, why'd you let your hair grow like that? This is what guys used to do, stupid. I'm a lion. I'm not tying this shit like some gay football player. That's about it. Go get your money up, not your funny up. Peace.